Faith watchers, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled The Princess Diaries. You can actually find this film streaming right now on Disney+. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. Shy San Francisco teenager Mia is thrown for a loop when, from out of the blue, she learns the astonishing news that she's a real-life princess. As the heir apparent to the crown of the small European principality of Genovia, Mia begins a comical journey toward the throne when her strict grandmother, the queen, shows up to give her princess lessons. Now, Faith watchers out there, this is like a sweet, darling little classic to me, Disney classic. I mean, everybody knows by now, and if you have not known, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for you to get down with the Princess Diaries. Here we meet the beautiful, lovely Mia, who is your typical teenager, your typical high schooler here. I mean, we have all been there, okay? And don't try to front, y'all. Do not try to front out there act like y'all were like Miss Popular in the life of the party throughout all your years. I mean, there is a period of time that everybody has gone through a phase where they didn't feel like they were accepted or validated. You know, everybody have been through those moments. And so we could feel Mia here as that awkward teenager. She is in that awkward stage of trying to figure herself out, trying to figure out the world. She is not accepted in this big world, this big realm called high school. It is not the most pleasant thing in the world. And for some of you out there, that may not have been your experience. That may have been like the most wonderful time of your life. Okay, but for some of us out there, we were like, oh, we could have done it better, or it could have been a little bit better. Okay, so we feel Mia here. And just to watch her go through those awkward moments, you just feel so bad for her. I mean, she has the whole flaring of hair, just not really, she was very, very awkward. She really was. And I just feel like, you know, it didn't really have to be all of that for her, but I guess that goes to show based on personalities and different things like that. I mean, we've been down that road, okay? She does have a friend, Lily, who is just as awkward as her, I would think. But Lily is a little bit more confident. She got her podcast going before we even knew about podcasts, before everybody and their mama had one. Lily was already on it. She was already on board. She was the future of what we're living in now with her thing. And she was dedicated to her broadcasting that she had going. And so I love that they did have a beautiful friendship, like a loyal friendship there, especially when you're in those moments of life where it's just like you're trying to figure it out. It isn't the best thing in the world. You know, you're just trying to learn yourself, come into who God has called you, anointed you to be. It can be a very, very, very scary time because during that phase, it's not many people who are going to stick around for you and really be there for you. And there are going to be those people who see something in you or feel like you have something that you don't even know that you have yet. And they are out and about for what you have, what you can do for them, what you can bring to the table. And Mia does go through this moment in this film, and it just really makes it even more heartbreaking because she does experience like that first real heartbreak, that first real disappointment, and just thinking that everybody thinks like you. That is the mistake that many of us have made when we were much younger, and people are still making it now, even as grown people, okay? Thinking that everybody thinks like you. If you are like a sweet, caring, kind person, that you are moved by people who need help, who you just love people and you love Christ and you want to see and love people through the eyes of Jesus, you have to understand and be aware that there are wolves in sheep clothing out there who don't think like you, but they'll easily play the part just to get what you have, just to destroy you and break that spirit that they want so badly, that they see in you but are not even willing to get it for themselves. And in this film, Mia does have that, even though before she found out that she was a princess and was gonna inherit all of these wonderful things, she was a sweet person. She was a kind, genuine person. She obeyed her mother. She respected her mom. She was a good friend. She saw people who were not even seen, like herself, you know. She easily went under the radar, but because she did, she made a point to see the unseen. And so, and at that moment, not many people didn't want to have nothing to do with her. And then as soon as she find out this wonderful news, well, I guess it depends on how you look at it, because it wasn't necessarily not so wonderful for her. I mean, who wants to be thrown into something that you don't even have a say-so in the matter? And that was one big thing about Mia here, that she wanted to have some kind of control, some saying in her life. And I think that's anybody. I guess that goes for anybody. We all want to feel like, that's why God gave us free will. We don't want to feel forced into anything that makes us especially uncomfortable, that takes away our peace, that we feel like maybe isn't for us. So we want to be able to have a say so, and to be able to stand strong and tall and be authentic and let people know, hey, you know, this is not it. This isn't me. And for the longest in this film, that's what we got from Mia, that she was perfectly like satisfied just to be her, even as awkward as it may be, even though she would just daydream about the life that she would want and all of those wonderful things. And we love that, okay? We love going into those daydreams with Mia there, especially when she had a little crush, her little first crush, okay? She was perfectly fine with just living life like that. And just to have her grandmother, who she never met a day in her life, show up in her life and kind of interrupt her life, her world. I guess you can imagine that pushback. And she did give a lot of pushback. But what I love about this film is Mia needed things that she didn't even know that she was aware of. She needed her grandmother. She needed that stability in her life. Someone to see her potential and see what she could have instead of settling for less. Like her mom, it's like no shade to her mom, because her mom loved her, adored her, and was a good mother here. But her mom didn't push her. Her mom didn't allow her to see what she could have. And that's one thing I did appreciate about the grandmother, even though she kind of appeared on the scene a little bit harsh, a little bit too strong, where it would make a person want to back up a little bit. And I get that. That's why it was so funny to see, you know, them kind of playing off each other, Mia and her grandmother, throughout the entire film. But yes, I feel like everybody needs someone like that in their life, someone who can see past where you are. And her grandmother, even though her grandmother kind of struggled to see it a little bit, especially at the very beginning, it wasn't long before her grandmother saw the potential in her and saw that, wow, this is what you could have. This is what life could be like for you. And I feel like so many of us get stuck in that place because we didn't have that person or people in our lives that say, hey, I see you the way God sees you. I actually see you. So many of us have gone under the radar where people don't see us because of what they see right before them. They just see, okay, you're just there, and they pass you by. I mean, that's so much of the world today. If they feel like you can't do nothing for them, you don't really have nothing going on like that that they can benefit off of, they kind of pass you by, step right over you, and continue their own journey until they can see some kind of person that they can ride they coattail and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we see it all the time throughout online, social media, all that kind of stuff. But it's something to take that time to slow down and be the vessel that God has created us to be. And that is someone who sees everyone. And it just reminded me of Jesus, like, to be honest with y'all, because he had so much. I mean, come on, y'all. Committed no sin. The Son of God, the Son of God. He was the only one in the world that had the right, even to this day, to walk around with your head held high. And if you chose not to see somebody, we get it, okay? You are the Son of God. But for him to humble himself and to become just like us, someone who is unseen, someone who has flaws, someone who feel pain and different, all these different things. I'm about to say wonderful, because they ain't all wonderful, but different things throughout your entire life here. He became all of that, so we know that we can have someone, we can know that there is someone out there who does understand, who can relate to us if nobody else does. If you don't have a person that you can actually see with your physical eyes, you know, you have Jesus who walked that walk, felt whatever you may be feeling even to this moment right now. And it's just amazing that he saw everyone, that he was moved with compassion by everyone, even the ones who were rejected by everybody, because whether you were poor or you were sickly, or you just didn't have the right education, or you were educated at all. I mean, all of these things, and he just saw everybody. And it just reminded me of, like, who do you want to be? Is it really worth it to be chasing after these things that really are not going to profit you anything? Is it worth it to try to use somebody to get to the top and lose it all anyway? Because we know that this is all temporary. It ain't gonna be here forever, right? And so I know y'all feel like, okay, Blood, where are you going with all of this? My whole point is, this does remind me of that in a lot of different ways. Like I said, with Mia being someone that nobody sees, and to have somebody actually see her for the very first time in her life, I know it just caught her off guard. It was shocking. It was just astonishing to her, because she just couldn't fathom the idea of being someone special, being someone that someone would love to be around, that someone would love to love. And that was so sad in itself, because she is a teenager here, and you want every child to feel love and to feel special and to feel like, yes, you can have it all and dream past the stars, the moon, and all those wonderful things. You want every child to feel that way, because otherwise you get grown people which we're dealing with now, who are still hurting from the different things that they never had as a child, or still hurting because they were rejected at some point and no one ever saw them. So you want every child to feel seen. And so we get to go on this journey with Mia, to watch her grow in this short period of time, and to show us, hey, that even if nobody isn't showing up at your door and saying, hey, you are a princess or you are a prince, you need to know that you are a child, a son, a daughter of God, and that makes you royalty. That makes you seen, and he does see your potential. He knows the plans he has for you, plans to prosper you, all these wonderful things, and we need to meditate on those things. We need to let that be our identity when we look in that mirror, and to see all the beautiful things that God has shown us in his word, and know that that is our truth, regardless of how man sees or treat us. So all of these different things are going through my mind, like I said, as I'm watching the film. And yes, I know I'm only 11 minutes in, but I just had to break all of that down for y'all, to let y'all know that, hey, you are loved and everyone is special. If you got God, you got Christ in your life, you are royalty and you are love, okay? So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into our scripture once again. This film is titled The Princess Diaries. There is a sequel I have not yet watched. I plan on watching it, because I cannot believe that I have not watched it yet. But yes, I plan on watching that and bringing it to you all, let y'all know my thoughts and everything as I went throughout the film. But we're gonna go ahead and get into our scripture before I leave y'all for this evening. And we're going to be coming out of, let's see here, let's see. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 1, and it reads, "Do not be envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them. For their heart devises violence, and their lips talk of troublemaking." So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. As always, please remember to leave your thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because I do read them and I do enjoy hearing from you all, and you just never know what your words can do for someone else. So definitely be an encouragement there. Until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.